everybody, welcome to another Age of Grogu, and I have with me as always Elijah, Jason, and Max. Hey guys, how's it going?
Hey, hey.
Hey,
What's up,
Hey,
guys?
how's your week been? What's been going on? What's news? Elijah, anything much?
not much.
Not much?
Nope. Working on my
Models?
finishing up some more miniatures.
Cool.
Watched all the Paper Girls.
Oh yeah, how's that?
Really good. I think
Yeah.
you'd really enjoy it. I think you would like it a lot, Brent. Once you
Yeah,
I think the first episode would kind of hook you, but
yeah,
it's pretty good.
that's cool. The
Did you watch it, Max?
Yeah, I was gonna
I'm
say,
like
anyone else
halfway
watch it?
through it. I'm on like episode 4 or 5.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh
Great.
man! Oh, thank
It's
God
fun.
you said that, Max, because I was gonna say something, and I was just like, "Oh wait, I gotta wait to see if anyone else
Yeah.
has."
Yeah.
But
Remind me again, Elijah. What's it on again?
It is on Amazon.
Amazon.
Amazon
Amazon.
Prime.
Okay. All right. Okay. That's cool.
yeah, on Prime Video.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And this is what eight episodes.
Eight
Yeah.
episodes.
Yeah, oh, that's cool. Now, I don't have Amazon Prime, so I kind of have to check off somebody else's, unfortunately, when that time
Just
comes.
torrent
That's
it.
Well, you don't torrent it, but Amazon Prime is something that, like,
I'm not gonna. Yeah, that's something you don't share.
That's
Yeah.
Amazon Prime is almost a
I'm not gonna-
necessity, and you can't really share it because you're like letting someone into your Amazon account.
Right.
And they can, like, buy
Correct.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that makes
But
sense.
if you're
Amazon-
gonna buy,
Amazon
ever buy
Prime-
anything for Amazon,
I'm
it's
gonna
like,
say for the
Yeah.
record, Amazon Prime is not a necessity, guys. Amazon
Yeah.
Prime is not a necessity.
Fair enough.
all right, well, not a necessity. Well, not a necessity, but did I say necessity?
Necessity.
It's not a necessity,
Uh-huh.
but
You don't need
worth
it,
it.
but that's what it is to
Yeah.
watch.
Yeah.
it's
So,
worth
Max.
it for what
Yeah.
whatever. Okay.
Oh yeah, that's cool. Yeah. So Max, what's going on? What's news?
Yeah, I had a fun week this week. Went to a comic book signing yesterday
Okay.
in Ventura. Yeah, it's fun.
That's
You
cool.
go to like 2 a week, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you go to
That's
all
all
this.
I try to just go to like the cool ones. I try
It
not to
sounds
go
like you're
far
going
out of my
every
way,
week.
but
Yeah.
yesterday was like they were celebrating Spider-Man Day. They had the current writer of Spider-Man, Zeb Wells. They had
Cool.
Dan Slott, legendary Spider-Man writer, creator of the Spider-Verse.
Right.
And they had Daniel Kibblesmith, who's a writer for The Late Show, who did a Spider-Man story, and Todd Knock, the creator of Young Justice, who that was pretty cool.
Oh, very cool.
It's got a lot.
That's cool.
I like that a lot of comedy writers go into comic books.
Now, where
Good
was that
stuff.
at? Where was that signing at?
That was in Arsenal, Ventura. It's a bit far from me. About
Ventura.
it
Okay.
was a drive, but
Yeah.
it was definitely worth it. I got like 2 full runs signed. I got
Oh man.
Okay,
Do they,
let's
do,
look.
do they
Show.
charge you by signature, or do they just do it for free? Like, is this
this one they did 3 free signatures and then $5
Oh, wow.
per after. So I got the entire Reckoning War signed
Oh,
by
damn.
Dan Slott.
That's cool.
That was pretty cool. I got all of Zeb Wells' current Spider-Man run signed by him.
So you have a
which
lot
was,
of signed books then.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I got a lot. Yeah, and then
Do you
I
get
got his.
Do you get them
Mutants.
personalized, or do you just get them signed?
No, sometimes I personalize them.
Right.
I don't know. I don't usually
Dear
ask
Max.
for them, but
Yeah. Fair
Max,
enough.
follow your dreams.
I
Yeah. No. Totally.
Have a good summer, Max. See you next year.
because I'm a big X-Men fan, I got
Yep.
Todd Knock to sign his cover for Immortal X-Men 1 because that
Cool.
book is awesome, and I got
Nice.
the Comic Book Day Dark Web book signed. So yeah, I got
Right.
a lot of cool stuff signed.
So
Cool.
cool. These guys go out
Oop.
because of people like you. You know. That's why
Yeah,
they're
I mean,
out
there's a
there
lot of people
signing
there trying to
books.
make money off of like signatures, but
Right.
I don't know. I
Do you
always
get
like it's always
yeah.
cool to just go there for just because you read the
Yeah.
books, talking
Yeah.
about. I did ask Dan Slott if he thought Reed Richards was a good person, and that's such a hard question to answer. He was like,
That's-
yes. He had to take a deep breath, and he thought of that. He's like, yes.
We got to think
Okay.
bigger picture stuff. Like to his family, if you were to ask like his family, probably not. But he
Right.
has saved the world a number of times, you know, in that
That's what we were
sense,
talking
you know.
about. He was
For
like,
the greater
everything he
good?
does is for all. Yeah, that's what we were talking about. Is the greater good in the current
Mhm.
Reckoning War? He really does some mean stuff to Ben Grimm. Lies to him about his family dying to push him harder.
Right.
And I was like, that was some rough stuff. And he was like, yeah, but it was for Ben's greater good because at the end of the day,
Yeah.
his kids
It's-
lived because of that.
It's kind of like watching Walter White do certain things. You're just like, oh, what the
Yeah.
hell, man? What's
yeah,
he doing?
literally.
Yeah.
What is he
Literally.
doing? But you're like, oh, but you still look back at the bigger picture and you're just like,
Yeah.
oh man, Walter White.
Cool. What you been up to, Jason?
I've just been still, just learning more in Blender.
Cool.
I managed to pick up Kit Ops and Hard Ops, which is our good plugins for hard
Okay.
material, hard body work, which is mostly what I want to do. And
Right.
I've got this Kit Ops, which allows you to make little widgets
Okay.
and like greebles and like get them into a folder so you can collect all these little components.
Oh,
and then
okay.
you can
Nice.
just grab
Exactly what
from
you need.
those and then
Nice.
stick onto whatever surface that you're working on. And it's
Right.
just learning the little tiny little details. Like I haven't even ventured off into like rendering yet. It's just for like building and like
Hey
meshes
Liam,
and
how you
stuff.
doing?
Yeah,
That's cool.
But that and I watched The Bear this week.
The
So
bear.
good.
Oh, I
Okay.
still haven't
10 out
watched
of
it yet.
10.
Max, oh man, how
10 out
good
of
is
10.
that, right? Oh, 10 out of 10, guys.
10 out of 10, chef.
Chef. Sorry, I call everyone chef. It's a level
Now,
of respect.
Bear. This is not like the Disney film they did a couple of years ago.
Not
This
Brother
is,
Bear.
Not Brother Bear.
The,
Okay. All
the,
right.
the
So,
weakest point of Disney
yeah.
And this
was
is Hulu again?
unfortunately.
It's on Hulu?
So
Yeah, it's on
what?
Hulu.
What's the bear? Oh, okay. So what's the bear?
It's
Is it
about like
movie?
a
or-
New York kind of like deli style bodega
Chicago.
restaurant.
Okay.
Oh, Chicago, yeah. Kind of, it's like a local restaurant.
Yeah, it's
mostly
like one of
a
those
sandwich
landmark
shop,
and like
mom and pop shop.
Right.
And they're kind of going under, and then the younger brother of the former owner just inherited it,
Okay.
and he decides to run their unorganized kitchen like a French brigade.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
he came from like the New York top, like he won like awards to like the highest like kitchens that you can work in,
Gotcha.
which is a great cameo from Joel
Joel
McHale
yeah.
as head chef for that like hardcore restaurant that he works.
Reg goes, a show about Chicago. Let me guess, is it R-rated?
There's a lot of swearing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Actually,
So
pretty
not
knows.
till you're grown up, kid. You'll be watching that and learn bad warriors.
Any of you seen Prey yet? I've heard it.
Oh my
so
God,
many
not yet.
things.
Not
Okay.
yet.
I
Is
need
that
to
on
see it.
Netflix?
No,
Hulu.
it's Hulu.
No, that's on Hulu too. I scroll through them and they all mesh together for
People
me.
are saying it's the best Predator movie since the original Predator with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Nice.
They're giving it
was
huge
fun.
praise. Yeah.
The actress, I can't remember her name, was so good and had
Yeah.
great callbacks. I will
I've
say
seen
the
her
first-
face everywhere.
Yeah. The first third of the movie kind of drags a
Really?
little bit, but once the action starts, it is amazing. And
Okay.
I don't know, it's some of the best Predator stuff, and it completely washed the taste out of that last Predator
Yeah,
movie out of my
sinless.
mouth.
Yo, what up, E-Man?
Hey, how's it going?
Yeah, I got to
Yeah.
check out Prey. I want to watch
Yeah.
that one.
No, I do need to check it out. I need to check out on that Hulu account sometime because
You're not gonna watch The Bear?
again. Hey, wait, what did you say it was on again? It was on
Hulu.
on
Hulu.
Hulu.
I think
Okay. Yeah, I'll need to get Hulu for both.
Yeah, I think I just canceled
Elijah
my
just
Hulu.
canceled it.
I think it ends tomorrow. Yeah.
Really?
I need to look again,
Here's
but
a-
yeah, I
fair
just
enough.
canceled it.
God, am I gonna give
There was
give
a
you
deal
that
with
too?
Spotify and Hulu together.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
for
know.
real?
I might have to re-get it. It's just I'm
Yeah.
trying to like equal out whatever.
Yeah. No. Yeah. It's
Money's still tight right now.
money's tight right now for me. Yeah, it's
it's dumb.
getting that
So
way
I'm
for
just-
sure. Yeah.
Doing poor man shit.
Yeah.
Get by.
Yeah. We'll catch that in sometime, I'm sure. Did you guys see the first look of Daredevil's new helmet from
that's
She-Hulk?
His whole new suit.
Whole new
Oh,
suit, new
OG
helmet,
suit.
everything. Yeah.
You could barely in the She-Hulk trailer. You barely catch it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I
Well,
remember
you
the
only
first
see
time I-
like the side part.
The first time I saw him like flip over, you see him in the light for like a second,
Oh yeah.
and like I caught it. I was like, "Was that yellow and red suit? Like OG
Yeah,
suit?"
they're doing
And
the
then-
yellow suit.
And then we had to
So-
rewind it a few times, and
Oh, yeah.
it looked like it kept coming
Kind of
up as like
gold, yeah.
black,
Right.
or it didn't look. Yeah, my eyes was playing tricks, but
Yeah.
I guess this confirms it. It's
Yeah.
cool.
When did that happen? When did it go from red to yellow? Max? Any idea?
was a-
He lost his suit at the end of Daredevil season 3.
Oh, okay. Oh, really? Okay, so they're using it from there.
Well, not during Daredevil.
Oh,
technically,
gotcha.
Bullseye took it.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. I'm saying in the comics, though, do they do a change?
Oh, in the
comics?
comics, he that's his OG suit.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay. Gotcha.
It's the
All
yellow.
right, okay.
I like how like Wolverine's brown and yellow.
Yeah,
suit.
the brown and gold. Or
Hey, Anchorman.
I've honestly never been that big of a fan of the
Missing
yellow. It's kind of has like a wrestling jump
Yeah.
singlet with it, and I don't know. It's not the most intimidating look
18
nowadays.
episodes.
Yeah. Well, either way, I mean,
Yeah, I've never
we're all
been a
looking for
fan
18
of.
episodes. Yeah.
I've never been a fan of that suit either. Every time
Yeah.
I'd see it in the comics when I was a kid, I was like, eh.
And
Yeah.
some of
Like,
those are
I
probably
could
chosen
wrap
for
around
like
that.
what it cost to print in a color, like back in the day or whatever. Like it was probably easier. It was
Yeah.
probably cheaper to do yellow than
Really?
whatever to print something in red or
Well,
like
there was
less
just
ink
like
for
more red, I guess.
whatever. Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
like one less cost or whatever. Something they have
Right.
to do. You know, like I'm sure some of that was they
I
so
think
many
it was
colors
also
to
like
choose from.
I think tertiary colors would be more expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah, to me.
Yeah.
I think it was
That's
just
just
also like a
one
shading
spectrum
issue.
right there, you know.
I think
Well,
that, as artistic, techniques
Yeah.
evolved, they
Yeah,
got the
yeah.
ability to do a full, complete red suit without
Right.
it just looking like one
One
meshed
blob.
thing.
They were like, he
Yeah.
just looks like a devil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, like in the early designs, they're just like, nah, just like a red devil. What is he?
Yeah.
It was like the homage to his
He's-
father, who was the
he's
fighter.
selling-
He had kind of like that old school kind of jump
He's
with
selling-
kind of wrestling thing.
He's selling liverwurst or something.
Yes. Exactly.
Yeah. Did you also
Still
see
no
this?
double D's on the chest, though. I mean,
Yeah.
no two,
Oh, really?
or at least a D on the chest. There's no Daredevil symbol on the chest in
Right.
the She-Hulk trailer.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. This popped up this week too, guys. Giancarlo Esposito confirms he met with Marvel for a role. Whether he gets the role, we don't know, and what that role is. What role do you guys want to see Giancarlo Esposito?
Well,
I think he'd kill it as Mr. Freeze, personally.
Yeah, Mr. Freeze. Someone like
Mr.
pitched-
Freeze?
Someone
Yeah,
pitched
someone
a
who...
Mr.
Yeah.
Freeze
Oh,
of him.
Dr.
Like
Freeze. Dr. Freeze.
someone pitched him as Dr.
I don't know that
Freeze.
character.
Someone pitched him as like Dr. Freeze like months ago,
Okay.
and it's been like stuck in my head.
Yeah. Who,
Like I
who's-
just saw it on the tweet.
Who is Dr. Freeze? I don't know that
I think
character.
they just
in
mean
the-
Mr. Freeze.
Mr.
Huh?
Freeze, like
What?
from Batman.
Yeah.
No, this is DC.
More-
This
No,
is the
I'm-
MCU. Oh, right. Oh, I see. Okay.
I think they
but-
just misspoke.
I'm just
Gotcha.
saying, like someone posted a picture of him on Twitter or something.
Okay.
It's like I would be down for him to be as like Mr. Freeze.
I'd
You
like
know,
to
it's
see him.
like, oh,
Professor
that would
X.
be sick.
Yeah, I mean, he'd be cool to see as Professor X too. I'd like to see what he would do with that character.
I
He
think
does
that,
have that
that
energy.
would work, but I think that if they go with that route as Professor X, we'd definitely be seeing a more insidious Professor X than a lot of
Really?
people are used to, which might be a good thing.
Yeah. I mean, what
Yeah.
are the other characters that people are guessing
just
out there?
like-
Magneto, which would be kind of cool too. I
don't know if I'd love
But
him as Magneto. I
he'd
think
be typecast though as a villain. I'd like to see him as a hero.
Yeah, I'd like to see him as like Doctor Doom.
Yeah.
That'd be kind of.
I think he's such a facial actor that Dr. Doom might be.
It
Dr.
might be a
Doom is
waste
more
of
like
him.
a body and a mask, and like could be just
Yeah.
a voice, you know.
Right.
Yeah, you
Unless
needed
they're-
the best voice.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think they'll like when they bring in Doctor Doom? You think it's gonna be like a total? I think what's trending now is to be like comic accurate. So yeah, it'd just
I
be like a
mean-
masked guy. All
It
the
needs to be
time.
like a Darth Vader, like badass Darth Vader, like, and they could.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know why they haven't made Doom look so badass yet, because it doesn't seem like a hard costume to like
It's
Yeah.
Well,
it's
nail.
not.
And I've seen like whatever cosplay that Doctor Doom that are like, dang,
Right.
that's
Yeah.
pretty
At
awesome.
least he did that. He had the metal mask in the movie and the,
yeah,
and the
but
green
for
hood
me,
thing.
I mean,
it
yeah,
was like a
but just,
resemblance
like,
of him.
you
It
know, like
wasn't
a
the
royal
Doom
green,
Lotvarian armor.
like armor.
But then
I mean,
that
make it
around that
realistic.
time they were
Do-
kind of like we're still into the leather suits. You know, they weren't really
Yeah.
going comic accurate around that
Yeah.
time. So as close.
Do you
as
think he'll have a
get.
Lotvarian accent though? Do you think he'll? Or do
I-
you think he'll just be
I
American?
would hope so. That's why when we were talking about it a couple weeks ago, I said Peter
Friday
Stormare.
we trust. Yeah.
That would be
Because-
good.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
he's like one of those guys that you're like he play a really bad guy, and if he's just doing a voice, even if he's not doing a voice and then you see him,
Yeah.
like he can pull off a dark character like
Mhm.
that, and he's really good with odd European accents, and just he's like a mysterious dark guy. So I don't know. That's my own personal. But I still think that would be a good. Every time, anytime people talk about Doctor Doom now, I'm like still thinking Peter Stormare would be a good voice at least.
Yeah, that's a great idea. I believe when most people are casting him in their head, they forget it needs to be like kind of a random Eastern European accent.
Yeah.
Right. I mean,
Peter Stormare.
if they cast that character though, they're going to cast
You would
him
like that
before
guy.
his powers. I'm going to
He's a
assume
good actor.
because
No, I think they're gonna have a full Doom right away. I think.
Oh, really? Just bring them
Yeah,
straight
I
in?
think.
That's it?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
We
I
could
think
get
they'll
an
probably skip
Origins.
over.
No,
Well, his
no
origin
origin?
story would be him going to Doctor Strange and being like, "I need more magic, man."
I mean, the
Okay.
way that they brought in the fake Mandarin or whatever, they just boom, you get the Moran. You know, they could do something like that with Doctor Doom, where it's just like
Right.
you're just opening it and
Yeah.
he's
Makes sense.
whatever, a terrorist or he's
Yeah.
running a country or whatever, you know,
Right.
something that we
I have
haven't
a
heard
weird
yet.
feeling we could see a Doom bot before we've seen Doom.
Okay. What's a Doombot?
He has these like robots that look like him. They're kind of
Okay.
like life model decoys, but they're just like these. He always deploys them around Latveria to kind of guard the place, but he
Okay.
also uses them as messengers a lot. So
Right.
send a message to be his proxy because they look
Gotcha.
almost
It's like the
indistinguishable.
Ultron bots.
Iron
It's like
Man,
Okay,
with,
alright, okay.
Iron Man bots.
All right.
Yeah.
the Centurions.
Yeah.
Or I forgot what they're called. The only reference to the MC. Oh wait.
MCU's honoring the comics and almost complete changing them. Miss Marvel is now a mutant, which is
Yeah.
cool. I mean, I love the Miss Marvel series.
Dude, this is. I think
don't
he has a really good
change
point. I think
Namor's
they're
more-
changing the. Yeah, they're changing the
Miss American.
characters.
Yeah.
But they're not changing who they are, which is what they used to do. They used to
Yeah.
kind of just keep what the characters looked like, but change everything about them.
Right.
And now they're kind of, they're like, well, they could look different, but they could still remain the same.
Yeah.
Or in Ms. Marvel's case, they could have a different origin, a slightly different origin that maybe was what she was meant to have originally, but
Yeah.
still be the
Yeah.
same exact character that we know.
I mean, this has been going since forever. Like
Right.
Ultron's origins totally changed in the MCU.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
But just because there was a lack of a Hank Pym.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, but
That would have been great. I would love to see the MCU Hank Pym working on an Ultron.
yeah,
He's
and
so good at bickering.
beat his wife.
Ouch. So
That's kind of
that's
like
Hank
burned in
Pym's
my
own
head.
part.
yes.
I think.
Yeah. So the other thing that starts this week, I Am Groot, starts on August 10th.
Nice.
Oh, really?
5 episodes. Yeah, 5 episodes short. It's the first one up of the new stuff. So I mean, we could definitely do a reaction video.
Hell yeah.
I think they're dropping all 5 at once, and they're all supposed to be like 5-6 minutes long. So they're not.
That's fun.
like
terribly
a
long.
Looney Tune.
Yeah, that'd be kind of fun though. I mean, I'm invested in checking out and seeing what they do with it. So I don't know how much James Gunn had to do with that particular series specifically, but
I know.
Either way.
I'm expecting it to just be a contained thing of just Groot.
yeah,
They just accidentally leave him on a planet or something.
right. Yeah, who knows?
Excited to
I mean,
see.
it's taking place obviously in the time period where he was still a child, a baby.
I think it's in a
originals.
different universe. I think he said it was.
Really?
I think he said it was a completely different universe. He said each short could be a different universe too.
Oh, okay.
He
So
said none of
what
it's
ifs?
canon.
What ifs
Yeah,
or
he-
different universe? Okay.
It's
He
just
said none of it's-
we start the show with the Watcher just like focusing on Groot for.
Fair enough. Oh, the CG looks
Now we
pretty
take
cool.
a moment to focus on the most adorable creature in the
That's
galaxy.
it, exactly. Yes, you got your baby Yoda. Here's our baby Groot.
So this is gonna be like just actual Groot, like MCU Groot,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, I'd say so. They also have pushed She-Hulk back from Wednesdays to Thursdays now.
Big move, 24 hours.
Yeah, yes. It's interesting. So 9 parts. Yeah, the episodes of the
We
nine-
should all
nine
collectively
parts
lose
of-
our minds.
No, here's the thing. It's like we've known for a year that there's been confliction with stuff. Now they've moved everything around, but it also is going to go up against what comes out on Thursdays. I think it's the Rings of Power. So it's interesting to see. I don't know what the gameplay is when it comes from one company, like Netflix doing. It's Netflix, right, for Rings of Power? No, Amazon's doing Rings of Power.
Amazon.
Well, as far as gameplay, Amazon has the
Yeah.
worst because their website is
Yeah.
disgusting and
Yeah.
and like their app sucks. Everything in navigating.
Oh, really?
As far as gameplay is concerned,
Right.
I'd say Amazon's the worst.
Right. Well, it's interesting to see where we're going to have this kind of emergence of everybody trying. It feels like everyone's trying to figure out and rebalance their release dates.
Well, the only
down a bit.
conflicting audience would be the Venn diagram where Marvel and Lord of the Rings eclipse equally.
Right. Yeah.
And I lean towards Marvel these
Yeah.
days. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
Rings
agree.
of Power is just fanfic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
could-
it's like, keep it going.
You know, that's what I see.
Yeah.
I'm gonna check it out, but
Yeah.
I'm
you
still
know,
gonna
it doesn't
check
feel
it
like
out.
as big of an official release as the other
Yeah.
things do. It just
Right.
feels almost like, hey guys, look what we made. We have access to the IP now.
Yes. Yeah.
It's
Rather
one of
than,
those.
like-
I predict it's going to be one of those shows where like they finish airing all of them, and I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, are they done already? They're all out.
Yeah.
Yeah, and no one's talking about it because it just whatever.
Yeah,
I'm
I
just
think it
probably
might
not
be
gonna
forgotten
watch
about.
it.
I could be way off, but I feel like it could be kind of like. Did you guys remember that Amazon did the Tick a couple years ago? Their
Yeah.
Tick reboot.
Yeah.
And it was
I was-
like
yeah.
it was a really good like that was when they were doing a bunch of pilots and you had to pick which one you wanted. Right?
Yeah, and they
And
would
you
just start
could vote.
scrapping them.
And it was
Yeah.
like the second time they did a Tick show, right? Or the second
Yeah.
or third time they did a Tick TV show.
Third show,
Third
second
Tick show,
live
and-
action.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
that's
that Patrick
crazy.
Warburton is the first
Yeah.
one, right?
Yeah, and then there's one after
Oh,
that, and then another.
A little Easter egg in that is the guy who plays Batmanuel is the mayor of Gotham City in the Nolanverse.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Oh, and
Yeah.
okay, I didn't know that one.
Nice
That's
little
the one.
connection there.
That's a good one.
Getting back to Disney Plus, they have now done what? No, I'm just saying. They've now
I know.
done.
I like it. I like when you have to segue back to your.
What?
your
That's
notes.
fine. I just it's
It's hard to segue back from Batmanuel.
Yeah,
I know.
there you go. But anyway, back to Disney Plus though, they have now separated Marvel, at least for this current set of series, from Andor staying on a Wednesday night, even though they've pushed it back a few weeks, to Marvel now being on a Thursday night. I'm hoping
Right.
they'll kind of keep it that way. I'd like to
That
see
makes
that
sense
separation.
because they chose
Yeah.
Thor's Day.
Thursday.
No, I think it's a good plan. I think the streaming services should start implementing more regular viewing schedules
Yes,
in terms
yeah.
of like not dropping
I agree.
everything on one day
Yeah.
and like maybe you come home from work one night and you watch an episode the next day if something else comes out.
Yeah.
I don't get why they haven't prioritized that.
Yeah, I mean the fact is, it's
It's
like
like-
they still
yeah,
have
they
this
didn't
rating
know-
system. They want to know what
Yeah, they-
drops straight away and who's watching what that very first night first.
Yeah, it's not like network. They weren't expecting it to be like network cable where
Yeah.
it's just like
Yeah. Where you're competing,
Right.
you're like whatever.
Mhm.
Well, Thursday is a big
Growing
night
pains
as far
and
as like television history. So dang,
Yeah.
Marvel
Yeah.
honored. They
Yeah.
chose their favorite.
I just hope they keep it this way. As I said, this is an experimental time period, obviously, because of Andor and She-Hulk at the same time. So, but either way,
And I mean, I know they don't have like a Nielsen ratings anymore or whatever, but what do they use to like gauge
Rotten Tomatoes.
Rotten Tomatoes?
Yeah,
The
yeah.
industry
Basically,
uses
everything's
to-
internal.
to
Yeah.
gauge what people are watching and viewing, or do they just
They see.
It's all
pay
internal
Google
now.
to
They
pay all the
can see.
information?
yeah,
They could literally
They
see
can figure it out.
yeah,
what everyone's watching.
They
right
just have a map. They're like, this
Oh,
is
yeah.
what everybody watched.
yeah.
No,
That's what
just
shows
got,
they
like,
can so
all-
fast.
Everything has like a count whenever how many views it had. So they just
Yeah,
got
I guess,
yeah.
Well, they have like
But-
such raw numbers. They could see how much stuff was watched
Yeah.
in the first 24 hours.
absolutely.
Oh, right,
Exactly,
It wasn't
okay,
watched
yeah,
in the
Before
first
had to
24
be
hours.
like,
It's just
wow.
man.
what ads are having an effect? That's how they used to view. It was so
Yeah.
weird.
Well, that's also what happened with us when we were watching when Kenobi came out. Wait a second. Marvel had Miss Marvel out. Hang on, wait, which came out first? Damn, I've forgotten. Kenobi was out
Movie
first.
came out first.
But when Miss Marvel dropped in the last 2 weeks, I think it didn't get the ratings that they were hoping for, or vice versa. Yeah, it was the last 2 weeks. Oh wait, yeah, whichever way. Basically,
Whatever, because both shows were dropping the same night. People are
yeah,
gonna
that's it. Yeah,
both.
and we ourselves were not watching Miss Marvel
Yeah,
until
yeah,
like
yeah.
2 days later.
Yeah,
And yeah,
Well, this is a Star Wars channel, so
well,
first
no, it was
Oh.
just yeah, no,
you were
exactly.
pri-
Yeah.
You chose to prioritize that
Correct. I chose to
because
prioritize
Brent was
that,
such a
but-
Miss Marvel hater at the beginning. He hated
Oh,
that.
I
God,
didn't
just
hate
gonna
it.
remind you
It
all the
wasn't
time.
up there.
Man,
on
all right,
my
we'll watch
tier
this
list.
garbage
And it is a
show.
Star Wars show. Ages
Jake
later.
Lockley is anything Marvel. Yeah. No, I'm.
Brent was
You know,
like, I
no,
guess
I-
we'll watch it.
Well, no. I.
Wasted time.
Shut up. Okay. Anyway, speaking of Miss Marvel, how's that for a segue? The making of Miss Marvel
You're
came out.
welcome for that setup.
I did watch it this week. It was cool. It was nothing amazing.
Oh, here he goes
nothing...
back. He's a Miss
No,
Marvel
no.
hater again.
What?
Guys.
No, there was nothing mind blowing about necessarily anything we didn't see.
Well, it's kind of
coming.
hard because we're watching the ILM series, so anything compared to that is kind of lackluster right now.
Yeah, no, that ILM series is awesome. I'm very much enjoying that. Anyway, with the case, they dropped the Miss Marvel Assembled, so that's worth checking out if you haven't had the chance. There's some little bits and pieces behind the scenes. Nothing completely like mind blowing. It was all
I
pretty
wouldn't
much what you
expect
saw
anything too mind blowing on
Yeah.
that. You know,
Yeah.
it was like cable special effects to me.
Yeah,
That
no,
whole show.
Oh, absolutely. But they did go into a little bit. They talked about the scenic artists coming in and painting all the buses and stuff when they shot they shot the scenes in India in Sri
in the little animations and stuff. That's what I'd be interested
They
in.
didn't do any of that. That was what I was kind of interested in. I wanted to see some of that, and they didn't go into any of that.
Ooh, I'd like to see that.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It was like it wasn't anything special outside of a regular special that just shows you the basics.
There's no BTS on that because they probably sourced it.
Possibly.
Yeah, that's so true.
Yeah, that's why there was no BTS on that. Because imagine how many people were disappointed when that wasn't in the behind the scenes. You know, they sourced it to an animation company.
Right. Yeah, that's fair enough. The other thing is Marvel announced also that they're going to be doing a return to the D23 Expo, which we kind of had heard rumors about, but they made an official announcement, which means that that's where Kevin Feige is going to drop his other 8 episodes or 8 movies or whatever it's going to be for the
Phase 6.
Phase 6 kind of
He's
thing.
gonna
now
announce
everything
6
else.
Squirrel Girl movies.
Yeah.
And a show.
There you go.
And a show to like wrap things up.
Was this one? Oh yeah, and then James Gunn also mentioned, he tweeted out the Guardians Holiday Special is going to be an epilogue of Phase 4 because someone asked the question where it sat in the actual existence of Phase 4 itself.
A wrap up.
That's an appropriate placement of a holiday special, just an in between.
Yeah.
Let me tell you the story of the last couple of years.
Yeah. I think this holiday special is going to be something really good.
This is like post Thor leaving the Guardians, I guess. Because
would this be the end?
Gonna be
the catch up to everything? Like just
this would be
Phase 5.
So hang on. The question asked was in the Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special, is releasing after Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, which is said to end the Phase 4, but before Ant-Man Quantumania, which is also to start the new Phase 5. Okay. So which phase does it belong? Yeah, what does it belong into? And James Gunn's referring to the fact that it does really exist as the epilogue of Phase 4.
I think it has to, because you're not going to start a new phase with a holiday special.
No, of course.
Yeah, I think it's kind of also neither. I think they just didn't think about it that deeply.
Yeah, and you can't start off. You can't start a phase with something that doesn't hold any like story weight, because
I think it's also going to be shorter than people think. I don't think it's going to be feature length or anything like that.
Oh no! It's going to be like a half an hour, 40-minute.
And they still haven't said anything about who's in it or what's going on, or like if it's.
I saw they filmed it in Hollywood. In front of
Hollywood?
That's cool.
Yeah, they filmed it in Hollywood.
Part of it.
Oh.
Do you think we're going to get a
hologram? They shot
hologram?
most of it in Atlanta, I thought.
Do you think we're going to get?
They were in front of the Chinese theater.
Okay.
Do you think we're going to get a hologram of Gladys Knight?
Or something like that, like not that, but something like totally bumping,
like a reference to the Star Wars holiday special.
Yeah.
Oh, I have
what
idea.
I mean. Like
no idea.
That's what that was.
Yeah.
The holidays.
Yeah.
The family band.
Remember that, Brent?
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be. I think this is going to be kind of a setup, because there was obviously things that James Gunn more or less had to change from the several years between number 2 and number 3. And things change within the multiverse in the last couple of years as well. So within the Marvel story. So I think that he might be just doing this as kind of filling in some of those gaps that he doesn't need to put into the feature film. And
I think it's just Marvel asked him to do it.
Yeah,
I think it was just probably like they wanted to do some promotion for the movie, which
and
is pretty cute and family friendly.
this won't be happening if Star Wars never did a holiday special anyway.
I don't
Right.
think it's got anything
It
to
has
do with
the
the
ref-
idea.
It seems like it
Yeah.
does. It seems like
I
they
don't know.
make some sort of odd
But
reference.
so if the
Yeah,
Star Wars never
maybe.
had a holiday special, this would still be happening just because.
Yeah, Shrek had a holiday
I
special.
think it's
and
possible.
all
I
these
think,
other shows had holiday
Disney's been-
specials.
Disney's been kind of pushing these specials with all of their different IPs.
I
They've
know,
done a lot
but
of
why
Simpsons
not
stuff.
why not a Thor holiday special? You got to get the space stuff. So I think this
Thor
is
doesn't
totally a
celebrate
reference.
Christmas.
Yeah.
I agree with Jason.
Yeah.
There's got to be some
totally
a
a
little
reference
tongue
to
in
the
cheek
Star
in there
Wars.
at least.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
It's like he's not gonna. James Gunn is not gonna. There's got to be one or two jokes, and then it, like relates back.
That's
to
what I
holiday.
first thought when they said they were
Or
going to do
very
a holiday.
similar.
That's what I
Yeah.
first thought when they said they were going to do a holiday special.
With
It's like,
special guest, like
they even
what
did
about
like the
Beyonce?
disco version of the
Yeah.
Guardians
Yeah.
of the Galaxy theme song,
Beyonce
just
here
like-
to the song.
just
and-
like Star Wars did.
yeah.
Yeah.
It seems like that's what's gonna. I mean, if I had to guess, that's
Yeah,
what I'm
that's
guessing
what
gonna
it's
be.
going to be. VR. Like
A special guest,
Go, Groot's going to go in a VR headset,
Comedian.
and it's going to be Beyonce. Or...
Yeah, Beyonce or a special comedian
I mean-
like shows up. Had
There's
to
no
roll.
goal.
B.
I-
Arthur's not around anymore, so he
Yeah.
won't get
I
like.
mean, you got to consider where we
Maybe
left off of
today.
Guardians, or actually where we left off of Endgame, where Gamora is kind of off running around the place. We don't know. I feel like is James gonna take the Gamora character and pull her back into the Guardians of the Galaxy
Or,
before
yeah,
his
I
film
know.
comes out?
I don't know.
Oh, she's not in the special. You sure?
Definitely not. I
Really?
think if anything, the special could be the Guardians just leaving after Thor just to go on an
Okay.
actual vacation.
That's what I
Okay.
think. I think
Alright.
it's going to take place right after Love and Thunder
Okay.
because you're not going to have Hemsworth there.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
And, everyone else could make it.
I guess either way, it's going to be fun. I don't know when we get a trailer for that drop, but
Yeah.
it'll be in the next couple of months, I'm sure.
So, Brent,
Um,
you don't think this is because of this isn't a reference at all to Star Wars holiday
No,
special?
not at all. I don't think so.
Yeah, I think
at
it's just
all.
marketing.
I think it's just marketing. Yeah.
I think Disney
it's-
would have done it regardless.
Wow,
I
we're
think,
50 split on that. Like, I totally think it's
Yeah.
going to be
I
like.
think James
I guess
Gunn
we'll
will
find out in a
reference
few
it
months.
And now
more.
the
I think
Guardians,
they'll probably
Chris-
run
the
it
I
as
don't,
a
I don't think.
special
Okay,
in
all right. So
Hollywood,
I don't.
Special
I don't
guest
think.
coming
I
in
don't.
there.
No,
Like,
I don't
it's
think
gonna be
he'll
like a variety
reference
show.
anything. No, I don't think he'll reference anything like that. And
I think
within the
Bigfoot
Star Wars
Life
holiday
Day might
special.
get referenced.
I doubt it. I
It's just
doubt
a
it.
vague space holiday.
Yeah, I doubt that. Either way.
I don't know. I
yeah.
can see it being very. I mean, look at the music video thing that we did. It's like
Yeah, it's
variety
the
show,
Star
like,
Wars
very variety
disco
showy
version.
type of, like,
It's just like the Star
Yeah.
Wars did with the Star
But that
Wars
was
disco.
that was just a silly, funny
like,
thing.
oh,
that he had.
like
Yeah,
no, Brent's
Well,
just
you
like, no.
can't deny that there is somewhat a reference to
All
that.
right,
or
For that,
inspired
yes.
it.
Jason
For that,
against
yes,
Brent.
absolutely.
But for both of those, this is what I
We're
mean.
50-50
If they're
split on
going to
this one,
reference
so
that,
we'll see
yeah.
when it comes out.
We'll see when it comes out.
Yeah,
see
we'll
who's
find out
right.
that Max and Brent are
Jason-
wrong
Yeah.
eventually.
Absolutely, yeah, for sure.
It starts
well-
off with just Wookiees
Variety
somehow.
show.
I doubt that.
Drax's race is probably the Wookiees of the.
Yeah,
It's just going to be a Drax. They're going to go to Drax's family.
yeah.
What's left
That'd
of
be
his
fun.
What's left of his family?
What's left of his family?
What's left?
So
That was never addressed. Actually, he
yeah.
never really made amends with his.
Yeah,
after-
this is
yeah,
they're gonna close
that.
up. They're gonna close up a lot of characters in this one. I think Drax is gonna die in this last Guardians.
I think Drax is gonna die just because Dave Bautista wants out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, makes sense. Makes sense. Going to Lucasfilm, we've obviously we've been watching the ILM special, but Life magazine actually released this week that I picked up.
They should have called it
it's-
Life Day magazine.
Well, it is full on, like every page to page. This entire magazine.
Did you
is
hear
just,
that
like,
joke I
some
said,
reference.
Brent?
Life Day magazine. Yes, I got that. Yes, I tried to ignore it.
I tried to.
I'm not letting you.
I know you're not. But this magazine actually is page to page with actually some photos I've never seen before. And again, it's always amazed me how many images and things pop up.
Wait,
from this.
you've never seen it before?
No, I've never seen some of the photos.
Whoa,
That were in
that
there.
means
Yes.
they're rare.
Oh, shut up. Yeah, actually, it does because I've seen a lot of photos.
You've
Anyway,
seen- Brent's seen all the Star Wars. If there's
Every
something
Star
new,
Wars movie he's
every
seen.
every
every
Star
Star
Wars.
Wars
not every
thing,
thing,
information,
every Star
everything.
Wars
Most
thing,
things.
Brent has seen
Most-
all the Star Wars.
well, visual stuff, yeah, not books and stuff or comics. What was this here? Oh yes, Katie Sackhoff was asked last week at a convention. There's been a lot of conventions this last week across the country. Whether or not we'll get the chance to see Bo-Katan pop up in in the Ahsoka series, and Katie
Yeah, I would be
Sackhoff says,
surprised.
yeah, and basically says, yeah, is there a chance that we'll expect to see you as Bo-Katan and Rosario Dawson as Ahsoka team up again? And then Katie Sackhoff says, I love Rosario. And then the fan says, are you going to be in the new Ahsoka series? And then Sackhoff says, I like Rosario. So that was it. So I assume we're going to see Bo-Katan, providing she survives.
I don't like Bo-Katan as a character. I think she's
Really?
a wet
Really?
sandwich.
Hey there, Mug. How's it going?
I mean, she is a little
Good to see.
grumpy in the Mandalorian era, but rightfully so. If you
Yeah, I
follow
mean, her
the
whole
story.
world's been like devastated.
But I
her
do
sister
miss
was
a
killed
slightly
back
less grumpy Bo-Katan.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
I guess her character makes sense. You know, it is her fault that Mandalore all fell apart.
It's for her. It's all about becoming power. You know, becoming the power to take over and rule.
And that's
everything
why
the way
it's
she wants to.
obnoxious.
Oh, I know.
That's what makes
That's
it
great.
such an
though.
obnoxious
But it's
character.
the same mistakes that the Mandalorians make over and over again. That's the cool thing about it. I think the way to ruling Mandalore is not by trying to jump for power, and I think that's where we will see Grogu eventually take over and become this whole brand new realm of
Gray Jedi.
the future. No, just the future for the Mandalorian people.
Gray
the stories that are
Mandalorian.
told. 500 years in the future from.
Yeah,
then,
we
I
do. We
think.
do have like Din Djarin's representing like, and Bo-Katan are representing like two spectrums of Mandalore
Correct.
culture, and so I guess Grogu could be the Gray Mandalore.
Yeah, no, totally. Yeah, and a cool thing that happened that Pablo Hidalgo, who does all the lore within the Star Wars universe there for years, he basically puts out a tweet and he's replying to somebody. He says, "Holding her is dangerous." So that line is now important to A New Hope that gets overlooked not much too often. So when you consider the fact that we're about to go into Andor series, and the Andor series is dealing with the Senate, who these people are within the Senate, stuff like that. The idea that Princess Leia or young Leia, even at the age of 15 years old, is connected to the royalty of who Bail Organa is.
Bolganis.
I think it's interesting how they're making brand new words, old words from the Star Wars movies, kind of have whole new meaning.
Because then they
as
kind of
to-
fill in cracks of like
Yeah,
what this
yeah.
could mean. This one phrase.
Yeah, exactly.
They're pulling a Rogue One. You know,
Yeah, no, that's it. Yeah.
that's what I call pulling a Rogue One.
Oh yeah. No, totally. But that going into
Sewing up the holes in the lore.
Oh yeah, no, totally. But going into it, Andor released a new poster this week. Looks cool. Jason, you pointed out that it looks very sketch pixelized.
No, they just ran it through. All right, so I'm gonna say that to get the look of those illustrated posters, you could just use the posterize filter on Photoshop,
Yeah.
and that's exactly what they did. It looks like an illustration only because they did that certain filter on it.
Really? Yeah.
They didn't even go in there and touch it up. It was a quick
No, you're
thing.
right.
It's
You're
called
right.
the Drew Struzan illustration filter.
Yeah,
They're trying to go through, to get that look.
Yeah.
It's like,
That's
he's
the
retired,
best
so
way
we'll
to
just
do it.
bunk his work and.
I've tried
make that
so hard making posters like that.
Yeah.
It's man. The only way to do it is to illustrate it
to be Drew
all
Struzan.
the way, man, or else someone's gonna. But it's cool. It gets the look across.
Yeah, no, I guess the look across.
It's only a
but you are right,
show.
though.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's about budget and stuff like that.
It sucks because Harry Potter, they could have done that. They only did it with the first movie, and
What's
then the
that?
rest
Posters.
posters. Like
I think the second poster, the second movie is also.
The Drew Struzan.
not on the. I guess
Do you remember the
only
billboards for the last
poster.
movies, though?
The
What's
only
that?
poster I remember from the second one is just Harry Potter with the sword, man. If you could show me an illustrated poster of that, I'd be happy.
I'd have to pull it up. But yeah.
Harry
So
Potter's marketing got worse and worse, in my opinion. By the end of by the last movie, their billboards didn't even say what the movie was. It would just be like, it all ends here in the Harry Potter font.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I guess I'm supposed to know what that means.
Yeah.
Well, people did though.
They did. That was the sad thing.
Yeah.
But that's the
wasn't
thing. It was
wasn't
such a
cool
sensation at the time. If you were to drop it right now, you're like, wait, what the hell is that?
Yeah.
But at the time, it was the zeitgeist, man.
That's what
Yeah.
everybody
Harry
was
Potter
tuned
fever
into.
was at its height.
Mm-hmm.
And so you could totally just put a poster that's all black and says HP 7.
Yeah.
And then you know exactly what the hell that is, because that's what I've seen, man. It's and me, I'm not like a hardcore Potterhead.
Yeah.
But I knew exactly what that. Do you like Harry Potter, Elijah? Being an
No.
Anglophile that you are.
I was just too. I mean, wasn't the age for it when it was released. As much, I don't know. I was like 22
I was the age and I didn't
when
like it.
first came out.
Yeah,
Or
fair
something.
enough.
Like
Yeah.
it just wasn't the age. It didn't hit for me for sure. It was like when it was released, it was such a kids movie, and I was not. I was like in my early
You were
20s.
never a child.
Well, no, it's just I had no interest at that particular time. I had
Right.
no interest in watching Harry Potter, a kids movie, at that particular
Fair
time.
enough. Fair enough.
I didn't whatever.
Yeah.
If it was like whatever, I didn't have nephews.
It's
to
British
take or whatever,
though.
Like, I didn't,
It's British.
I know, but also like I have a thing with like wizards and magic, and just some of that
Yeah.
stuff doesn't play for me. Like
That is
dragons and wizards. And,
England's built on wizards, man.
Yep.
Yeah, but it got way cooler.
You're not a fan of the lore, man.
So in other words,
I'm a fan of England once they got music and the Jamaicans showed up in London, and it got a lot cooler.
So basically, Elijah's not going to be watching The Rings of Power. He's not
No,
going
I
to
don't
be
care about
watching.
any of that.
He's not going to be
He
watching
doesn't watch
Dungeons and Dragons.
Yes,
He's not going to be
care about
watching
Dungeons and Dragons, I
the
don't
Game
care
of
about
Thrones series
Dragon,
prequels.
all
Yeah.
the dragon stuff. Lots of
I love
dragons.
dragons. I'm a dragon
I
fan.
don't care about
I
dragons. I
love
didn't even like
dragons.
Dragon Slayer when I was a kid. I mean, that's the
No,
one
we've
dragon
been
movie.
through this.
Yeah.
He's just never met a dragon.
I'm just not into dragons.
Me and Brent met dragons at a very young age, and we've been.
Everyone's got the thing. I'm not into dragons.
I had one as a
it's
pet.
because you never
I
met
don't like
one.
baseball either.
Yeah, I don't like it. I don't like it either.
Yeah, I'm not a baseball fan.
But yeah, you just got to meet a dragon. So you just haven't
There you
met
go.
yours yet. So
There you go.
I
don't
mean,
worry. It's never too late to meet your first dragon, Elijah.
Pete the Dragon or whatever. Those, whatever. It was like, okay. There was dragon stuff I liked as a kid, and just it's the least of my favorites.
Cool.
Fair
The
enough.
dragons are way down here.
I just didn't know. I thought it was all like British stuff, but I guess not.
No.
I mean, not
trying to-
everything British. I don't like Doctor Who, but I
What
like
about mushy
British,
peas?
I like British music.
like mushy peas.
Mushy peas can be done right if they're done right. But
Where's
I usually
Leo?
That's the most British thing I can think of.
I know, right?
Shepherd's pie.
That's all. Yeah.
Anyway.
Is that British?
Very good. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was like from Scotland or something.
Well, any of those pies, all those like bread-based pies.
Meat pies
meat
are that's brought
the
to
European meat pie.
that
bread
is
and-
spread by the colonizers. Every place, every culture
Cornish
that has a meat pie was colonized by the Brits.
Yeah.
So should the meat pie be a symbol of oppression?
It is actually, if you look at it. I mean,
It's got everything you need. Some of those, like the pasty, the Cornish pasties, is like
you can
it's-
see a
it's
lot
awesome.
of
it's like the ultimate hot pocket.
a lot of colonizing could be mapped through cuisine and different places. Like it's like, why is there Indian food in Trinidad?
Yeah.
It's like, because the British sourced India to colonize it. That's why there's Indian food in Trinidad.
So, speaking of Britain, this series was shot there. So here's some photos behind the scenes of Andor.
Oh, it's Harry Potter's aunt.
Oh.
Yes.
She's like on like a lazy boy recliner.
Yeah.
I know,
But,
right? She's watching her stories.
There's a couple of stills. They got
I like
ones of
that. I dig in the new droid.
I like the new droid. Now I've got a scale to how big this droid is. It's like
We got to do a droid tier list someday.
Yeah. we
Gonk
should.
S tier.
Oh, yeah.
Everything else below it.
That's it. Yeah.
Gonk S tier,
sure.
and then the lowest tier would be like 3PO.
Yeah. But that trailer though, look at some of these beauty shots.
But I know so many
of this
languages.
Yeah. The beauty shots in this series look really amazing.
Yeah.
Just some of the stills from this trailer. Just
Is that one dude from Rogue One, right? Is that the same dude?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
Yeah,
Cassian
yeah.
Andor, yeah.
yeah.
Do you want to do a...
the alien,
No,
right?
Yeah.
the alien guy. That's
Oh,
I'm talking about Andor, you idiot.
of course. Oh, two tubes. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
2 tubes.
Two tubes.
Of course, his name
Oh,
is
that's
2
his
tubes. He's got
name?
2
Yeah.
tubes.
Actually, if you have a look at a
It's like,
closer
it's
look,
like a scissor fist name, huh?
do you see way back in the far right corner in that cave area?
Yeah.
You see the creature that's wandering around there.
Oh yeah, the same guy, another guy from Rogue
Yeah,
One.
one of that guy there. Yeah.
Oh, I don't remember.
He had a
that.
bigger role, but, like
Yeah.
he got cut.
Delete,
Hopefully, they get to shine in this.
Yeah.
Because I like that whole gang.
just was
Saw
back on.
Gerrera's gang looked like they had a lot of cool lore behind them.
Yeah.
He comes back in the comics much later because he lived, and it's like he has a dark story.
That's cool.
Two tubes.
It's like
Yeah.
most people
Okay.
in the Star Wars universe.
He comes back. He's like kind of like gray, like he's disillusioned with everything.
That's
Right.
cool. I like that.
That's cool. Then of
He's
course
like
you got
in the middle of his hero journey.
yeah. Then you got Saw Gerrera. He's actually kind of like the most reoccurring character next to Ahsoka now. I mean,
For sure.
This
It's appeared
character's
in
like
every
yeah.
He was the
well,
first animated to live action character, right?
Yep. Yes, correct.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's
He
cool.
popped up in the Clone Wars. He then came to live action in Rogue One, but then they went back with the Bad Batch. He was reanimated again. We see him in Rogue One, Andor. We see him pop up twice in Star Wars Rebels, and then
Oh, this is going by timeline because that's
Yeah,
So
this is the time-
chronological
yeah.
Saw.
the Rogue One.
Yes,
I'm like,
yeah.
oh, that's beginning and the end of the okay.
This
Correct,
is the
yes,
Saw
yeah.
timeline.
yeah.
They're missing one. They're missing his appearance in Fallen Order, which takes place right before A New Hope.
That's
What does he
the
look
game?
like in Fallen Order?
I don't know.
Does he look
One of
like
these.
um
He looks
the oldest one? Do you have the
And they don't have
Did
a
he
cross
remember?
photo from Richmond High.
I'm not too sure. But either way,
I can't remember what he looked like. I know he's in the game though.
yeah. Now, something that they kind of introduced into Star Wars Rebels, and I think they might have done some of the some of the comics and the stories before that, the novels. But ISB agents, these guys are Imperial Security Bureau. Basically, they're like the ones you really don't want breathing down your neck, and they're real douchebags. They usually dress in white, but this woman here, Denise Goh, I can't pronounce her name.
just
there.
Nazi officers, right?
Yeah,
more-
essentially.
Yeah, just basically
Nazi officers
What do they
slash
call them?
spies.
Yeah.
Gazpachos? I forget.
yeah,
Gestapo.
more or less.
Gestapo.
All right, guys. On that note,
Gestapo.
Yeah.
Gestapo, Gazpacho, whatever.
Okay.
That's the Marjorie
they're-
Taylor Greene mix-up that she
Yeah.
had.
That's it. Yeah, yes.
That's what I got.
He was so confident looking at it. Said, these
All right.
gazpachos.
Are you gonna go,
I
Jason?
gotta go.
Yep. All right, Jason.
For the record, pick another target in military. Target. Name
All
is-
right, dude.
Bye.
We'll chat with you later. All right, so
Oh.
back to us again. Hey, look, we're in this
Whoa.
format.
Can we
Hey.
change it back to the other?
Yeah, we'll do that.
That's better. That's better.
Yeah, and yeah. So basically, I mean, I'm curious to see how this is the first time we really get to see these guys in live action, and we're going to get to see how much trouble they kind of really are. I mean, I know that you didn't watch Rebels, Elijah, but we had a character called Price, Commander Price, and she was I think this character is going to be very much like Price was. A real bitch of a character, and I'm looking forward to seeing how this actress plays this character.
Bitchy.
Yeah, well, bitchy, but just like really like smug and
Strict or like very like demanding, like that type of like whatever
oh,
drill sergeant type
just
of like.
a powerhouse, just a
Yeah.
powerhouse. She's gonna be like, I think I get the feeling.
And
by
she's
her
like a
look,
tinier
gonna-
lady too. She's like a
Yeah,
tiny lady
yeah,
that's gonna
yeah.
be like bossy around.
Yeah.
You're like, what?
Yeah, I think she's going to be a continuing threat, at least in season 1. Depends on whether she lasts out, into the series. But I hope to see this character as an overall threat, because the idea of the ISB constantly on your back, they're going to be, they're the ones that the what's it called, the Death Troopers are always, kind of flanking and being around and stuff like
Right.
that. One of the other cool things they also showed was in the trailer was the Cantwell ship, which was the original Star Destroyer design by
Huh.
Colin Cantwell, who passed away earlier this year. But yeah, the actual ship, it gives you an idea of the scale next to a Star Destroyer, which is kind of cool. And yeah, do you want to break down the trailer at all? Walk through the trailer?
Sure.
Yeah.
So, let's see. I'm gonna play this. All right. I just want to kind of like have a look through some of the things. So this is obviously in Scotland, where some of these scenes were shot, and it's just really nice to see a different location. I think the biggest thing we've got here is that because they can shoot in locations like this, it feels a little bit more real than the volume. There's been a lot of
I mean,
flack on
just
people.
that alone, that's worth the money to travel there.
And the biggest thing is LA. People who don't know, LA's got like a 30-mile radius of filming radius, and it's very frustrating that we can't, that films cannot go down to say. And I think I was saying this to Elijah when we went down to San Diego. It's a pity they can't shoot down here. There's some beautiful.
It's harder thing, outside
locations.
of deserts and the different permits and costs to like move, transfer production and power and everything out there.
And so it limits the amount of scenery that you get the chance to see as background, especially for sci-fi. And we're kind of limited to the only outdoor location they went to in Mandalorian. Where you see, up in not Valencia, but up in Simi Valley and all that, those areas. So but it is nice to see massive scenery like this kind of thing. For sure.
It's it's kind of like what I love at the beginning, opening of Rogue One with all that stuff in Iceland and just awesome shot. They're picking awesome terrain. Like the Earth's got so many awesome terrains that like people don't normally see it, using that to advantage and making a world from one specific terrain. I mean, they did that in original movies, but like it just makes sense that like they should continue to do that.
Oh yeah, totally. No, for sure. People are giving flack over the fact this is an AK-47, is it? I can't remember.
Yeah, it's a little. I don't know what kind of gun it is. It's like a modified AK, kind of looks like, but
whatever.
It doesn't really look very Star Warsy. I think the clip is what makes it look less Star Warsy. Most Star Wars guns don't have that kind of clip.
Yeah, makes sense. But the thing is, they do take typical, like Han Solo's blaster is an old German gun as such.
Pistol, spy pistol or something.
Yeah, just converted. So it's like it's not the great. So many people are making such an issue about this particular gun, and I'm like, seriously, it's.
Well, I think it's because it doesn't look like a blaster; it looks like a gun.
Yeah, perhaps
it could be a gun. We don't know. It could be maybe looks like they're on a more tribal community or whatever, so maybe they're not working with the tech. Like maybe they don't have the tech. We've never seen a bullet.
Yeah.
We have. We have.
Okay. Well, maybe there are. It's just like not a blaster or a gun. Maybe it's just some different like type of gun.
Yeah,
I know I've heard stories in Star Wars of people taking down Jedi with shotguns because they know that the Jedi would try to block it, thinking it's a blaster bolt, and the shotgun would just
interesting.
Project back into their faces.
Yeah, the Sand People actually used projectile weapons in the Ridge of Episode 1. Actually, when they're shooting at the pod races, which is kind of fun. But anyway, let's continue on from that. It's kind of a new speeder by the look of it, just like I don't even know if it's a speeder or a hover.
I think it's just a speeder that was put together with different parts.
Yeah, looks like a modified speeder. Star Destroyer. I get a feeling also this woman might be Andor's mother. This might be in a flashback sequence. That's my guess.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah. I just never noticed that before. See the TIE fighters on the side there that are in sync with the
TIE fighters?
Yeah, on the left side of the Star Destroyer, there's 3 fighters.
I don't see them.
Yeah, it's just as it goes past right on the top.
In the top corner.
Yeah, watch it. They're all in sync with the Star Destroyer.
Yeah, they're all like. Yeah.
I never noticed that before.
I still don't see them. I was looking all the time, but I didn't see it. Left-hand top screen.
The top left-hand corner.
Yeah. So.
How's it?
They're going into frame just now in the top corner, like this.
Oh.
See
barely.
Them? They look. Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah.
The birds. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. No, totally.
Like man, I barely saw that.
Yeah.
To steal from the Empire.
Obviously, a mine. So this is obviously a young Andor, which we see at the age of 6 years old. I'm guessing. That's why I feel like that could be his parents. I love the. I love the idea of the Senate chambers looking like this. I think it's cool.
It looks so good.
Actually, that is not officially true. No volume on the maybe no volume on the trailer, but there is talk. I'm going to go into this a little bit later. But the DP had said a comment about they didn't use the volume once during this series. What he actually had referenced to and corrected later on was they had used the volume, but they hadn't used it as a major scenery kind of background. They built some massive sets, and they still used the British volume, because they built one in England, and they still used it for certain things, but not as evidentially massive, complete, full scenery background kind of thing.
They're so proud of themselves. So fat and satisfied.
Well, maybe because they have the locations there closer to what they want. If they're in Europe, they've got Scotland and Ireland and Europe.
Right, yeah.
They can probably get to all those locations easily.
Oh, yeah.
And if they're going to do something, then it's going to be more of like a set that they don't have to build that's like in the environment, you know?
Now, this guy, his name is Luton. So he's I mean, it's what's his name? Skarsgård.
Professor Lambeau.
Yeah, which is cool. I mean, we get to see him in two different time periods here too. This is like obviously in the future at one point, but we do see him as a younger version of some sort. We've got some clone troopers here as well. This kind of leads me to think this is still when the Empire is taken over, so around the Bad Batch time is where I'm thinking, Max. Where we still have some clone troopers walking around. But at the same time, it's like, eventually these guys, the clones die out, grow old quickly, and accelerate, so we don't see them done that. So this could very well be a flashback as well. We definitely know we're getting some different time periods in Andor. We're getting periods, obviously, right after the Empire is taking control. But then we're going to get stuff that's going to be current to prior to.
And because there's so many episodes, do you think there's a completely other, like maybe side story that has nothing to do with or maybe some of these stories are completely separate and have nothing to do with, you know what I'm saying? Like where they're like running two or three stories at the same time, but like some of these characters don't really interact with each other, but are near each other at the same time, kind of like a
maybe at the beginning. I feel like we're going to see more.
I can see it being like a really long No Country for Old Men, where like all these characters like barely, almost run into each other through almost the whole series, but you have almost like three different storylines.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, it could be. I mean, it'd be nice to see how, say, Mon Mothma eventually meets Cassian Andor. She may not even meet him necessarily.
You may only see her
season.
Yeah. I know what you're saying.
Yeah, but we'll see her in the Senate for sure. But she's going to be a huge part. Just look at these backgrounds. I love every time there's a new Star Wars set. I love exploring the backgrounds and
the little trash and stuff.
Yeah, that's it. It's so cool. It's just there's so much to look at all the time when they do it right. Of course, we've got some sort of a junkyard here. There possibly could be Baraka, which is it Baraka?
I think it looks like Baraka.
Yeah, it looks a little cleaner than they animated it in the Bad Batch. We see
it's more similar to Fallen Order how we see it.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. Okay. It's where the game starts.
Right. It's basically Elijah Baraka is where they put old ships to kind of a ship burial ground,
a shipyard, or
whatever. Ship junkyard.
Yeah.
Junkyard, like a car junkyard.
Scrapyard. Yeah, that's it.
Melting and reusing pieces and taking them in, whatever.
Yeah.
Well, we need a junkyard in Sarlacc.
Yeah.
Ooh, that'd be cool. Well, we see that in the Bad Batch. We see the Dianogas that are around the place.
Yeah.
They're big ones too. But we also see it something similar with in the Mandalorian season 2 when what's his name's character? He's in prison there. Ben. Forgot his name.
Nope. Who?
Nope, I can't pull up his name off the top of my head. Anyway, whatever.
I'd rather give it all to something real.
So yeah, we've got pushed to September 21st, which we all know that.
I can live with that. I mean,
yeah, if we get 3 episodes in one night, that's gonna be a good hour and a half long. That's gonna be a feature film, really. I love Skarsgård's new ship, Luthen's new ship. This is his ship.
It's cool. It looks kind of like a mismatch of other ships, but like a little empire, a little rebellion. You can't really tell what it is, which is interesting.
Yeah, I love how the
cockpit, I guess. Yeah, cockpit up in the corner.
Well, it's actually in the middle. If you have a look, because you could get a later shot of it inside. There's part of the cockpit that is actually kind of, there is no window on the left side of it, because the left side is actually part of the thing. But yeah, it's obviously his ship.
That's cool, putting on the hood.
Yeah.
All dark.
And
that's a great shot.
Yeah, again, we see some, open fields. Yeah.
So cool.
Here, of course, we've got the 2 tubes and obviously Saw Gerrera's little cabinet. Of course, we have Saw Gerrera pop in here.
Let's call it war.
Now,
it's crazy how good of a job they did making him look younger.
Yeah. I mean, there's definitely some makeup going on there. And here, if you saw the movie Solo, you've got in the background
these guys.
Yeah, these guys are all Mud Trooper uniforms.
I always loved that uniform. Even though it felt a little space ballsy, it looks pretty cool.
It does, yeah. I mean, again, another
keep firing, assholes.
another fantastic set.
How many assholes we have on this ship? Yo.
Yeah, I can totally see these guys turning around and saying, "We ain't found shit."
Yeah. We ain't found shit.
We've got some. These are actually not Republic gunships. They're kind of a hybrid between it. They're a smaller version of the Republic gunship that we see in the prequels.
They're cool though.
They are cool, absolutely. Yeah.
They look very toyetic.
Yeah.
Those toys are gonna sell. Those gunships.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Cool,
yeah. See, we're getting. This is the other cool thing is this series is providing some of the largest arraignment of just different costumes.
That's true. Factions and
different costumes, faction ships.
These aren't just a couple
weapons.
I mean, it's kind of nice because you think of like, wait a minute, where does all this crap come from? Who makes these ships? Where are these workers? Like, there's got to be people working in factories. Like, where does food come from? Like, don't people talk about any of that stuff in Star Wars?
No,
I would love to see like an Always Sunny style comedy set
street level, like I live in the Star Wars universe, and like, man, I just go to work.
Just make
and, like,
ships.
all I do is go to work, and I'm on this planet, and all I do is make.
That'd be fun.
Yeah, whatever.
I would love to find out that it's the same company that makes the ships for both factions.
Well, it's all Corellia.
I'm playing both sides.
Yeah,
it would be like The Office, but someone working on the assembly line or whatever.
Well, it would have to take place on Corellia then, because that's where Han Solo's.
We need to be writers. This is stuff that we need to like write down and be like, oh, we could make this ourselves.
Yeah,
that's a pretty good idea.
That's it. Again, we can see here this is the smaller scale of the gunships. These guys coming out, but just going back to the costumes again for a second. Yeah, I mean, most of these shows, you end up on Tatooine. It's kind of like you get this. You know what to expect when you see somebody from Tatooine. You got the rag, the dirty kind of broken down, but we're getting a ton of different military costumes and police-based costumes and stuff like that. So it's just showing how big this world is. Even these workers are they look awesome. The hats look silly. The hats look silly as hell, but they're awesome. But they are awesome.
They're like hard hats, but they're like shaped.
Yeah.
No, I feel like if something fell on that, it would totally fall off.
Right.
Yeah. Whoop. Don't. I just lost the thing. Don't. Sorry, my bad. Yeah.
There we are.
Here we go. Mayfeld. Yes, that was the character I was thinking of. We see Mayfeld, Bill Burr's character. Yeah, I was getting mixed up names in my head. It was like, but we saw his actual
character in there.
When we saw him in the end of season 2, he was on the planet, and he was
on this planet. Okay.
He was on the metal scrapyard planet, or a scrapyard planet, because he was in prison basically, cutting up metals and stuff like that off old ships. part of looks like Coruscant again.
I really hope we get a lot of Coruscant. Coruscant was my favorite thing about the prequels.
Yeah,
It was such a cool idea of a planet that was so fleshed out.
Yeah,
or at least felt very fleshed out at the time.
I can't tell whether this feels like it could be part of Coruscant. I'm not sure if it's that or whether it's something totally different. But we have this cool shot of the shuttle coming in for a landing, which is just cool.
I'm always surprised we don't really return to Coruscant that often, considering at the end of the original trilogy, they add Coruscant back in.
Right. I mean, we get a lot of it in the Clone Wars and stuff, but
I know, but they never mentioned it in the in the sequels.
Yeah. Oh no,
that felt crazy to me. How did they not go to Coruscant?
Yeah, post Jedi, I think there would be quite the political intrigue as to what's going on in Coruscant.
We got Canto Bite instead, but
Yeah, I know. Here's the ISB agent again. I think she looks awesome. I can't wait to see what part she has to play in all this.
I wonder if she's a spy.
I don't think she's a spy. I think she's
rebels.
No, she won't be a spy. She's full on. I'm coming in and I'm going to be hunting you down, kind of deal. She's got that powerhouse about her. And look at it. She's not someone for digging around.
Yeah, but wouldn't that be the best disguise as a spy?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I feel like that would be beneath her skill set.
And what are those white? That's like the guy in Rogue One. What are those white generals with the? Are they a different class, or you know what?
Aren't those just Imperial officers?
They're Moff. Yeah, you're talking about the Grand Moffs. You're talking about like.
They're Moffs.
Well, yeah.
Is that what that signifies? Like the white, kind of admiral armor.
Yeah, you got
Admiral. The guy in Rogue One, the main guy, he was always in a white. He was always in the white.
Yes,
suit.
He had the face that was always like,
Yeah.
They're the higher ranking ones, basically. Usually it's a Moff of some sort.
Okay. Because I know they have rankings, I just don't know.
Yeah, Admiral Admiral Yularen, you saw him first in Star Wars: A New Hope. He was the one in the white uniform in with the rest of them. They're all part of the ISB group of officers and making sure that basically they're the ones who have the stormtroopers who can shoot straight. Is the goal? Is the best way to put it, kind of thing. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. A lot of thought went into this. This series is just going to be gorgeous from the beginning to the end. There is going to be so much. Like, these sets are all practical right here, but look at it.
Are you a fish? Or are you a thief?
See, I mean, when she steps in, she obviously steps in, and she makes sure that the coast is clear before she steps in, obviously. But I think she's going to be like a real bitch. I can't wait.
I can't wait.
So here's Skarsgård's character. Obviously, this is in the past somewhere. He's obviously got longer hair here, a little bit flushed out age-wise, but he looks like he's like some sort of an art dealer or something.
I think he's undercover. I think he's a spy. I think for the rebellion. I think he's going to be going undercover, doing all these different actions within the show.
His older self, but I feel like he's profiteering at the beginning off of the Empire. I mean,
that'd be interesting.
Who knows?
I don't know. He looks like it could be a character that. He's kind of a chameleon-y type of guy. He just puts on whatever image he needs to put on in front of whoever he's around type thing.
Yeah, that's the
vibe.
So
he might just look a lot different every time he's like with someone, because he's like one of those guys that's just gonna like
that could be
have a different front when he's dealing with different people or whatever.
Yeah. See,
that was sort of the vibe I got when he was putting on the rings. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Very disguising.
Like one of those guys, whatever. Yeah. There's those people who are kind of a phony, like he kind of lives.
I don't know about that. See, look, he's here with Mon Mothma right here, so I
know that, but I'm just saying, even narcissistic, one of those guys that are like, he could be in a high role, but also like gonna change his appearance depending on who he's with, type of thing,
Yeah, he's definitely a character with money, obviously.
Yeah. Eccentric or whatever you want to call it.
Somehow he's going to lose that, I'm guessing. See, here, the inside of this ship. This is the inside of his cockpit. I love how the left side is just is part of the ship. Then you see it's the reverse of what we see on the exterior of the ship. But how awesome. How freaking awesome is this?
That's a cool design.
Yeah, it's such a great ship. Where's the exterior there? 1 second. Yeah, so you see that how...
Yeah.
So cool.
It's like the piece thing's in.
And that's the inside of that part of the cockpit
That's
there.
cool.
Yeah, I think it's great. Yeah, I love it. I want to know the name of the ship. I want it. I want a toy of this ship. It's simple.
I've just been hiding for too long.
It's got some and then this is it from a different angle, obviously. So takes out a TIE bomber. There in the background, there's the Cantwell ship, the design of the original Star Destroyer.
Yeah.
And we see that.
That's cool.
Yeah. I just like the fact that they've taken his original design and brought it back into the fold of the Star Wars universe, which is very...
Is it still be a Star Destroyer?
It'll be in the class of Star Destroyers, but I don't know what its exact purpose is for this series. But
I don't know if every time they use one of his designs, they have to like pay his like family trust or something.
Possibly,
like,
possibly.
Another check comes in. Another Lucasfilm check comes in.
It could be, maybe.
98 cents. Yes.
Yeah. No, I'm sure it's more than that, but like more than hopefully.
Maybe, but either way, I'm loving that they're using all that stuff again. Again, just some of these shots, it looks like Coruscant once again.
Just
beauty
any
shots.
like cool building, kind of like.
Yeah.
You think the Senat's still on Coruscant, or you think they moved it somewhere else?
Oh no, this is all the same. This is in the same place. I mean, Palpatine takes over the Jedi Temple and becomes the Imperial Palace. Is the idea of that whole thing of where Palpatine is. So I mean, I expect we'll see Ian McDiarmid pop up here and there on this series because there is a lot that takes place in the...
I would love it if he was like a hologram like Billy D. Williams was in the Lego special, where he's just like, this way to the Senate floor.
That would be cool.
Oh, that's funny. That'd be
directions.
Funny. But directions.
Yeah, he's just like a map.
I doubt that. I mean, I would say that Palpatine would probably pop up to certain ones of these meetings, but I also get the feeling that he probably just leaves his boot lackeys to be in charge now at this point in time. So I don't think he's going to be necessarily front and center, but I think we will see him pop up on appearance on occasion in this show.
That would be funny if it's like a deadlock vote and they bring in Palpatine to break the vote, and he's just assessing which option is eviler.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you consider the fact...
How could I turn this into a ghost war where I automatically win?
Yeah. He spent all this time from when he took over the Senate to A New Hope, where he dissolves the last of the council. This is the council that he eventually dissolves the last of for him to take full reign. So he spends the following 15, 20 years dissolving this entire system so that he has the final word and the final say. And,
couldn't he theoretically have just done it right away and just been like, I'm over this, I'm the ruler now?
No, because I think the idea is that he would have complete backlash and he'd have too much opposition from all these races. I think the idea is he slowly broke them down.
I think you just slowly transition them out of taking the power away slowly one by one.
Yeah, that's it. And
I guess that would make sense because as he's doing that, he's getting more of their forces to become stormtroopers and to be in his legions.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah, and I feel like that we're going to see a certain amount of that going on here because we're still, I believe, 5 years before this point in time is 5 years before A New Hope, or Rogue One, I should say. So I like to see, it seems like there's still a certain amount of power going on here, but I think over the course of the series of Andor, we're going to see this gradually break down and in fact dissolve the Senate as is mentioned in A New Hope. And we're going to see this dissolving of the entire Senate. We also know in Rebels that at some point Mon Mothma does leave in that last year of that series leading into Rogue One. She does actually leave, officially make her announcement and formally resign her position because there's nothing more she can do. So we're going to see at least season 1 of Andor where she is fully on fighting the system and fighting against what everything Palpatine stands for, as well as slowly building the forms of rebellion in the background. And she's going to be the mastermind of all that, of course.
and thinks I'm an irritation. There's a good chance they'll miss what I'm really doing.
What are you really doing?
I love that droid.
Yeah, it's a fun droid.
Yeah. Wait.
We need coaxium.
Yeah.
Get on the train.
We got more trains. What?
I did love that train sequence, though.
Oh yeah, that was cool in Solo. So we also get different stages of Andor's life. He hasn't got his beard here. He looks a little bit younger.
Oh yeah.
So we're going to see. I think we're going to see in season 1 at least, from the age of 6 to this age here, interconnecting story of backstory to Cassian Andor. Another great location.
I know we won't see Jyn Erso, but do you think we could see her father?
Galen Erso? I think we could. There's a good chance we might see him. But then again, we also probably are not dealing with the Death Star all that much either.
Yeah, that's true. He was pretty Death Star focused.
Yeah, he was pretty much.
I do think it'd be pretty interesting to find out the moment that the Death Star kind of became public knowledge among like people in the Senate.
Yeah, but I would like to see like Krennic pop up. The actor who I can't remember the actor's name, but I'd love to see Krennic pop up. And
wasn't it Paul Bettany?
Was it Paul Bettany? Who's Krennic?
In Solo? No, not Paul Bettany.
No, it wasn't Paul Bettany.
The guy that looks like him. The guy I always get mixed up with him. I can't remember his name.
I can't remember.
It's gonna bum me. I'm gonna look that up.
Yeah. But we got some cool stuff. We've got some. So we've got this one image here. Looks like prisoners are escaping. Looks like Andor's a prisoner at one point here.
Yeah.
Ben Mendelosian.
Okay. And they're making a prisoner escape, which is kind of cool. This guy's just weird. Like, he looks like Maz Kanata's race, almost, but not quite.
Double arms.
Yeah.
Kind of looks like...
I'm wondering... Yeah.
What, there's an X-Men character or something?
Yeah, he looks like Toad, doesn't he? It looks a little bit like Toad from X-Men. But not, obviously. Wrong universe. But
he kind of looks like...
What's that?
Kind of looks like Zorn. Like,
Totally.
not really, there's the head shape.
Yeah. But I'm wondering whether he's an early mod, one of the mods. Possibly. That's cool. It's some sort of ship or ships that are just like breaking apart over the planet. How cool. That's gonna be so cool. I'm so excited for this show. 3 episodes, premiere September 21st.
It's gonna be fun.
It's gonna be a lot of fun, yeah.
It's gonna be really refreshing too after every Tatooine-based show.
I agree. I definitely agree there. Yeah, I mean, I'm excited for this. We're still, past a little past a month away. We would have been closer, but all good, all good.
Now we got She-Hulk.
Yeah, we got She-Hulk.
Shout out my girl Jen.
Yep.
I think everyone's asleep on that show. I think that show is going to be one of the best Disney Plus shows.
Yeah. So should we talk about DC for a little bit?
Yeah, should we hold a funeral?
Which show?
Wake, I should say.
Yeah.
I mean, just for this is like the 5th time they said we have a 10-year plan. Does anyone believe them at this point?
No.
Until
they have somebody in there, and you know what they're gonna have, and it's like this is just wishful thinking. Like these aren't like set in stone movies. These aren't written scripts. These aren't like they don't have a plan. They don't know what they're doing yet.
Yeah, they have no one attached. They have Dwayne Johnson.
It's fine,
on Instagram
and it's fine. Like once DC figures it out, like everyone will go see their movies again, and they'll be popular.
Because they're so much more recognizable than Marvel. Like Marvel does not have a Batman.
Yes, their characters
have
a certain magic to them that is weirdly enough hasn't been executed that well in any movie. I mean, there are movies that like stand out of like the best of the DC movies.
In our opinion,
but they're not accurate.
This is in our opinion.
They're not accurate, and none of them connect to each other. Like not any of the good ones. It's a standalone good movie, but they don't connect with any other DC movie. They don't have like a clear universe.
Yeah.
They had no plan, and it was very obvious.
And they're not listening to the right people. I mean, they had their opportunities back in the '90s. They could have hired like actual comic book writers, comic book people, and they didn't. you know, it's just weird they choose to go with screenwriters for like a Superman movie when they don't know Superman. They haven't written for Superman. They don't know what they can do with Superman in a short time.
Right.
When you have writers, comic book writers that could come up with a way better pitch, at least for like, here we'll write a first draft, and then you bring a screenwriter on it but stick to the storyline and these characters.
Wasn't Jeff Johns though part of their downfall? Like they brought in.
I think he was a name, but like didn't have control. I think he was just like an ambassador.
I think he had control, but in all the wrong ways. I think they were like giving him access to certain things. Like he was definitely pioneering the Stargirl show because that was his pet project. Because he's super personal for him.
Well, the CW universe, he was involved in a lot of the CW stuff.
He was also involved with all the movies. He was involved with all the movies and did a lot of stuff with David S. Goyer for Man of Steel.
Yeah,
and he was involved, but then he would get overshadowed by the people on top of him. And they weren't listening.
I think that's the problem with Warner Brothers. There's too many executives and too many heads and too many people saying we need to do it this way.
For sure.
Do you guys remember?
It's always been that way because Marvel. I mean, DC, Warner Brothers has always misused their opportunity to do what they can with the DC characters.
Do you remember back in the day when, probably about 10 years ago, and we were all saying they're not going to do a Superman TV show because they don't want to have Superman movie playing at the same time as a Superman TV show, or a Batman movie at the same time as a Batman TV show, and they were making all those mistakes back then. And I think all of us were saying, no, we are fine with watching Superman on the big screen and on TV. Different actors, we're fine with that. We're getting different multimedia. And they started to finally, accept that, especially through whether you enjoyed or disliked the CW, CW universe. They managed to start doing it, and they did it well enough that it actually provoked a response that they pulled an audience that they were not pulling from the feature film universe.
I think the biggest problem with their feature universe is that they were trying to. They just couldn't have a clear direction. Is what really killed them. Is that they had the Spider-Verse, then because before they
still don't.
They could even get like an arc. No, I'm saying when they had it, before they could even get like an arc finished, they let a small majority of internet hate just derail everything.
They've really been off on timing too. They've been off like they're always either late. They're either late to the game or too early trying to do something. They're just their timing is. Really
they did multiverse like 3-4 years ago.
Yeah, like the time they're trying to introduce Superman, or they're trying to introduce things. They're like, like they were already like on Iron Man 3 when Man of Steel came out. So it's like they're trying to like their timing has always been really bad. Like
totally
from the beginning.
That's why I think they should just skip any origin story. I think people know DC characters at this point. I think any origin story is going to make people just not want to see a movie at this point, especially if it's like a Batman origin story or a Superman origin story.
Well, we had a really good conversation on Jason's channel the other day about, and I think I even asked you, Max, was where would you like to see it? And I think you came up with the perfect solution of where would be a good place to drop us all into a story, and that is having all these characters already established. You've got your Batgirl, Robin, who's
I think you should. I think you should have an entire. Batman. I think the Bat family is so big at this point. I think you could have at least 5 members. And if you want, and if you want to
pick up the story there,
you could do a newer character like a Duke Thomas or a Harper Row. I think there's so much. There's so much depth and diversity to the Bat family that having them all there at the same time would make a really dynamic story.
Drop us right in the middle of these stories. Superman, Superboy, Supergirl. Put them all there in the same world at the same time. And don't make it necessarily all about Superman. You have the others complementing.
I think superheroes are all about dichotomies, and that's what made the best characters stick around was the dichotomies.
If we have to see Superman get sent from Krypton as a baby again, or we have to see Martha and Thomas Wayne die again, it's going to drive us all crazy if they try.
And it wasted 20 minutes or wasted 20 or 30 minutes of screen time to set and deliver all that up on a screen. It's like. You're wasting story time. You're wasting character time. You're like, just let the person appear like Superman. It's just like, I don't know.
Yeah,
I think we should have saw something was going to be this was going to be a problem for a while when David Goyer mentioned that when he showed the first cut of Man of Steel to the Warner Brothers producers, they said, no, Superman needs to keep his ship because he needs to go back to Krypton later. And then they were like confused. I'm like, what do you mean back to Krypton? The movie opens with Krypton being destroyed with 20 minutes of it. You guys saw it.
Yeah.
And then the producers didn't understand that whatsoever.
Yeah. No, that's it. Well, coming out of all that, obviously, certain things got dropped and have been shuffled around. The biggest one, obviously, is Batgirl, which has been... I picked the wrong image there, I guess. Which is, it's interesting. So there's two parts to this. They were making Batgirl to drop
grab water
specifically.
real quick.
Yeah. They were making Batgirl to drop on the HBO Max.
Well, that wasn't the initial plan. That was a little bit of a revert plan.
Yeah, but the idea that now these guys coming in don't want to spend any more than $50 million per movie or show or whatever it may be for HBO Max and spend the big budgets for the big screen means that you've got this element that's going to really cheapen the TV stuff they try to release even more so. And if
I mean, not really. If you look at the CW shows, they have a budget of about $2-3 million per episode.
I think it's more than that, but yeah.
No, isn't it about 2 to 3 now?
I think it's.
I think Flash probably has has a higher budget. I think shows like Batwoman and Legends have $2 to $3 million.
I think most of them are much higher than that. I mean, in general, but anyway, being the case, they had a low budget, but they did a. I'm referring to just a feature film though. Putting a feature film directly onto HBO Max and spending a feature film budget is what they were worried about. Even though
it's weird because that was such a good gamble for them at the start of the pandemic. HBO Max grew so fast because they were putting movies like King Richard and Suicide Squad on their platform.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but then that all changed, and it is kind of sad. Like the directors, the two directors of Batgirl actually did some of the Miss Marvel episodes, but they also wrote out we are saddened and shocked by the news. We still can't believe it. As directors, it is critical that our work be shown to audiences, and while the film was far from finished, we wish that fans across the world would have had the chance to an opportunity to embrace the movie. They want to thank the cast and crew, but they had character. They had Michael Keaton, J.K. Simmons was in it. Brendan Fraser was in it. Granted, I've heard rumor that he's only in it for like a 2 or 3 minute scene now. Okay. But still, they had some pretty big names back into it. Leslie Grace, who played Batgirl, and so they definitely were shocked and taken out by all that.
It really came out of nowhere too, because even as of 2 weeks ago, the actress who played Batgirl was at Golden Apple Comics buying a bunch of Batgirl merchandise, talking to the store owners about being super excited about the movie. Yeah, totally, and she brought the actress who played Supergirl along with her. So they were I guess they were still at the time thinking we're the new DCU EU, and then
that's crazy.
It's rough.
I mean, I really do hope, though, that if they do this reboot, that they somehow do it right and make sure that it goes to the feature film and they bring these actors back in to play the parts. That's what I would hope to see.
I don't think that's going to happen. I mean, I think it'd be very rough trying to get all the actors like, hey, guys, you want to do it again? This time, I promise we'll see
I agree. Yeah, no, that would be...
I think most people would just have no interest.
Right. Yeah, that's a good point, too. So
I think one of the biggest losses that people aren't talking about is this is going to be the live-action debut of Alyssa Yeoh, who is one of DC's first transsexual superheroes.
Oh, yeah.
And, it was also going to be their first live-action trans superhero.
And, that was in Batgirl?
Batgirl, yeah.
No,
and that character got nixed completely because the movie shut down, so...
Yeah. No, it's very disappointing, and it just, again... But it also makes me question where this is going to go in the future. Now, DC, they did have the investors meeting, and they dropped this bits of information here. So basically, just 2 days after Warner Brothers Discovery made the stunning move to cancel HBO film Batgirl, CEO David Zalkas sought to reassure Wall Street. Basically, it's all about Wall Street. That's the problem. It's all about the money and where the money flow goes with these guys.
Yeah.
And basically they say, you look at Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, Aquaman, these brands are known everywhere around the world. The earnings, during the earnings course Thursday, we have done a reset. We've reconstructed the business, and we are going to focus on and where we're going to focus. So basically, they're going back to saying we're going to do these characters all over again, which is kind of a bit frustrating.
Well, the ironic part is this is nothing new for DC in the world of
totally.
comics in general.
Yeah.
They've restarted way more than Marvel. Marvel doesn't really do hard
Correct.
restarts the way DC does, where
Yeah.
last 10 years or 20 years we've done.
Yeah, well,
every 3 years, they're changing.
We've got the new 10-year plan again, of course. We believe we can build a much sustainable business. Once again, it's like not about the art. It is very similar to the structure Alan Holm, former CEO of Bob Iger, did with Kevin Feige and Disney. We think that we can build a much stronger, sustainable growth out of DC. Again, they keep saying the same thing over and over.
I mean, yeah, they obviously know they need someone leading the charge.
Oh,
who
they
knows
do.
The brand.
Absolutely, yes.
And it's crazy they haven't found someone, considering when you think about comic book characters, one of the first characters you think of is just Batman.
Yeah,
like
that's
you say that to just, hey man, you want to run the Batman universe? Like, how do they not have someone for that?
And as part of that, we're going to focus on quality. That's a sign you'd hope to see, at least, which means also quality of storytelling and line. They felt that obviously the Batgirl story did not follow the same quality.
I did hear that the test screenings were shaky.
Yeah. We are not going to release any film before it's ready. DC is something we can make better. Now,
well, it's hard to make it worse.
Yeah, well, it's hard to make it for sure. So ultimately, the plan is to launch unified streaming services, one that can carry the full breadth and depth of the content, like the HBO, Warner Brothers, Inc., Discovery Inc. For now, the company's existing streaming service, HBO Max and Discovery Plus, will remain their own products, so they're not going to get rid of HBO Max or merge it just yet.
I think that's such a bad idea. HBO Max is one of the best streaming services. It's one of the only ones I generally use every day and don't have any qualms about continuing to pay for it.
Yeah.
I just think I get my money's worth out of HBO Max, and I think once they add Discovery content to it, it's going to be just bloated by this crap I have no interest in.
Yeah. They should do it separately, like Disney have done, where they've kept Hulu separate from Disney Plus to
the bundle.
The bundle. Anyway, the
bundle works so well, even if I don't always use it. It's just it makes sense economically.
So here's what I got from all of this conversation between them saying that Batgirl is not quality enough to put on the big screen, and they don't want to be spending the money that is big screen worthy. There was a whole pile of talk about what do we do with Ezra Miller's Flash, and there was the whole talk. And there was the talk about putting it then to HBO Max and making it disappear. This is now reversing it. We are going to get a full theatrical release of Ezra Miller's Flash.
Yeah, that of course they're spending $300 million on it. If they put that on HBO Max, they would just be tanking their company. It just wouldn't make sense. I think it's where the bigger questions are movies like Blue Beetle, which are most of the way through filming. Which he's not the most well-known character. He's not. It's not as big budget as Flash. The actors aren't as well known. So what happens to that movie? Like Blue Beetle is way bigger of a gamble than Batgirl. Like everyone knows Batgirl, but I mean Jaime Reyes. Not many people know Jaime Reyes, or even Ted Kord to that extent.
I mean, again, I feel like this is the problem with I feel like if they did the family units, Blue Beetle mixed in with a couple of other characters, which maybe they had.
They could have done a JLI.
They could bring in a team of these characters and then separate them to do. Some of these characters may not be strong enough to do their own, or known enough to do their own individual single story off of to the general public. And I'm only learning of Blue Beetle's background through Young Justice. And I really enjoyed the story. I thought it was a great, cool story. But I don't know if that's officially the same story that the Blue Beetle came to in
similar. Yeah, I mean, I think it's weird. It's like they could have focused on all these dichotomies with the characters they're doing, but they're not. Like Blue Beetle, look at the original Blue Beetle. He had his whole JSA team around him with Power Girl, Martian Manhunter, and all, and just Fire and Ice, and some great characters. Booster Gold, some really fun characters. Their team was known for just
introduce that team. Yeah,
it's a very different what they had than with the Justice League, and then you know, Batgirl has her whole Bat family, so they have all these dichotomies they're just ignoring. Yeah, which you know, I think they're just shooting themselves in the foot at this point.
Yeah, well, I mean, what is it? We've got Black Adam that comes out.
Black Adam is doing his Justice Society, but I think they're doing one of the more boring versions of the Justice Society. They're not using that many interesting Justice Society characters.
And so they're relying on star power over story power.
Well, it's not even just star power. It's only the only two stars in the movie are Black Adam, or Dwayne Johnson and Pierce Brosnan.
Yeah. Okay.
Like, I don't know who's playing Atom Smasher or playing Polaris.
Yeah.
I can't remember their names.
Yeah. What was the other thing I was going with? We've got that coming out later this year. What's the other film that comes out? Is Aquaman coming out before, or is that coming out before or after The Flash now? Because I'm wondering where they're going to place everything in the position of the release date.
They're both done at this point. Both movies are done. So I could see them flipping the
whenever
dates
they want. I think they're just holding on to them until they decide they want to release them.
But Ezra Miller got into more controversy this week, actually, where he was reported back in the United States after leading a cult in Iceland or something like that.
I don't want to know about that douchebag.
It's the funniest headlines that he's roaming the U.S. with a gun and body armor, as if it's just it's like all Americans be on guard. Ezra Miller's back.
Anyway, if
I was the new head of Warner Brothers, I'd be like, look, there's $100 million, whatever. There's a reward for finding,
the Flash.
A nationwide manhunt to find this fool, and then I would like
dead or alive.
Yeah. Well,
but they need to get rid of that fool. I mean, it feels like there's so much. If they're going to release that movie, they should just put it out. Just put it out in the theaters. Put it out before Christmas.
I would love it if they put out a message beforehand condemning Ezra Miller's actions before the movie.
Look, we're sorry about this actor. He's probably doing criminal acts right now. Like, the longer they wait gives him...
He's doing so much worse stuff. He has a cult now.
Yes. Like, if they wait another 6 months, like, I cannot imagine what he might do in the next 6 months. Like,
good point. That's a good point.
Either kill people, or he could kill himself, or who knows.
It feels like that they need the Flash and the Flashpoint story to just end everything, though.
Yeah.
But I don't think they're going to.
That would be great if they have to reshoot the movie so he ends himself.
Yeah.
Well,
he unmakes himself.
Yeah. I mean,
the universe restarts. And there's just a Wally West now. It's like, Barry Allen, he died a while ago.
But what I'm saying with that is, like, if they do that, and they do that as the last piece of the story stuff that they've shot and they've got together, it's the only way that they can really do a fresh start. They can't be bringing in partial existing characters and actors, and they could bring actors, but not characters as they're being portrayed. I feel like they need.
No, I don't think they're going to bring in any of the same actors. And I've seen rumors online of the Zaslav is very interested in bringing Cavill back. I think after Aquaman 2, I think after Wonder Woman 3, I think they're just going to push the hard reset.
But are they?
And get rid of everyone.
But the hard reset feels like Flashpoint could be, and very well should be the hard reset. The reset should end with...
That would require too much lifting on Ezra Miller's part, and I think they don't want to do that. I think they're just going to not address it. But I don't think it's going to be like...
Wasn't the Flashpoint designed to be a reset in general?
Yes, kind of. Not really. Okay. It wasn't designed to be a reset, especially in the movie. I think they're actually getting away from a lot of the Flashpoint elements of it and changing it to just a different story.
Okay. So it's not the Flashpoint that would seem like it would.
I think it'll be like more like a Flashpoint. It's going to be like a soft reset. That's the best way to describe it. It's not a hard reset. It's a soft.
They're going to end at Wonder Woman 3 or whatever they shoot down the track. You think? And
I think Gal Gadot.
They're just going to stop it and go, hey, we're just going to start from scratch without any conclusion. See, it just feels like they could.
Well, what is there to conclude? Like the only conclusion for the original story would be to bring in Darkseid, and they're not going to bring in Darkseid. I mean,
well, they're going to bring
Woman's going off to do her own thing. Aquaman's doing his own thing. The Suicide Squad seemingly is the most important thing in the DC universe right now somehow. So, I think they're just going to have to put a hard reset and just get rid of clean slate. Maybe keep Black Adam just because Dwayne Johnson probably has a long contract, but
probably again it's like then you've got that lingering of characters.
That's the problem that they're in right now. Is you can't reset something if you're still making it.
Yeah.
So
that's the thing. There's too many things that are on the table. They've already assured James Gunn that the sequel, season 2 of Peacemaker is locked in.
And in the DCEU. He is very adamant about that it's in the DCEU, which is weird considering the first season ends with a Justice League cameo of the Snyder Cut Justice League, or the Snyder Justice League.
Yeah. But anyway, it's going to be just a real hot mess no matter what's going on. And the other thing, just to top off on all that, is that the Flash of season 9 will also be ending too. So the CW verse has pretty much collapsed in on itself.
What's crazy though is the Flash TV show and movie were announced at the same exact time.
Oh yeah, I remember that. The controversy.
They were announced on the same day, I believe, right?
Yep.
And now, as one's ending, 10 years later,
it is kind of funny actually. Yeah, you can go that by purely 9 years into 10 years of.
It's 10 years of stagnation of Ezra Miller's Flash, and in that time, he's literally appeared in the show in the Flash TV show.
Yeah,
which is nuts.
It's crazy. It's like DC. I hope that they reboot it from scratch, but I can't see how they're going to reboot it without doing a hard stop. But they also need to conclude that hard stop, in my opinion. They need.
I don't think they need to conclude anything. I don't think there's a running. There's no running story.
They're just gonna stop it. They're just gonna.
Well, if they were going to conclude it, they would bring Snyder back to do his conclusion. But because there's nothing else to conclude. There's no running story besides. Darkseid's still out there.
Yeah. No, I don't know. I'm at a complete loss. I've had issues this last 10 years with that, with the Snyderverse in general. Personally, I just never liked it. I appreciate and respect people who actually have enjoyed it. And Snyder's got a style. I just never gelled with his style in the first place. It just never connected with me personally.
Right.
And that's really the main thing that I'm not a fan of his style of filmmaking. I'm not saying it's not creative.
If he didn't make 300, if he'd never made 300 the way he made it, do you think Marvel movies would be the same way they are today? 300 was the first movie shot entirely on green screen.
Somebody else would have done that. You had things like.
But that's just,
I know, but he was the first person that thought for that. That was like, this is possible. Yeah, this is the new way to shoot movies.
Right, but
everyone told me it was crazy.
It's Zack Snyder's style, and I respect the style. I personally visually don't like the style. The slow motion stuff.
I mean, he definitely has a distinct style.
As I said, there's nothing wrong with it. I just personally
like it, but I get why people don't like it.
But it follows through, and you see that all in the Justice League stuff.
I do think he's way more innovative than people give him credit for, especially with 300 the way that it was made. And I love the story.
I respect that
because they told him it wasn't possible to do it, and now it's like how all the big budget movies are made, and he sits back like. Told you guys.
Yeah, I respect that side of him as a creator. I don't like the style that he does. It just doesn't connect with me. But that aside, it's the style he brought into the DC universe, and it had to get transformed because it didn't connect with all the audiences. Now, no series or no show is ever going to connect with all the audiences. But Marvel had a much higher rating at a general overall.
Yeah, I mean, I think Marvel would have done it very differently. I think this is gonna sound mean, but I don't mean it as mean. I think Zack Snyder was telling much more of a grown-up, evolved story than Marvel was trying to tell. I think
for sure. Yeah.
Putting out a lot different. He was doing a lot different things. He was telling a lot bigger of a story, a lot higher stakes of emotions.
Yeah, they didn't want to copy. They didn't want to copy Marvel, and I also understand that too. It was a tough place to be.
He gave us a Batman that was going to go from someone that you almost hated. You're like, I don't like this Batman, to then you see him find his hope and his redemption and become that classic Batman over time. It's way more interesting than seeing origin story of a Batman.
For me, it's a reversal. I want to see. I personally want
to see him get more jaded, and
I want to see these characters at their perfect level of who they are represented as for the first time, live on the big screen, and then over the course of generations of storytelling, watch their characters either degrade or fall or succumb or whatever it may be. I
think that's a lot of people take. I thought it was really refreshing to see him do the inverse of a Batman who's jaded at the start, and then he meets Superman. At first, he distrusts him because he's jaded, and then he grows, and then he gets inspired and become back to the old Batman that he used to be. Which I don't know. I just thought that was really interesting.
Yeah, really I get that. Anyway, whatever. I've said it before. I've never really connected with that as a opening sequence. I've always wanted.
I will say, on this topic of DC, that it's crazy we have no Green Lantern movie. He is one of the most recognizable characters in the world.
Did
like a good one.
I mean, I like the Ryan Reynolds. I like the Ryan Reynolds movie. It was awful, but it had awful scenes.
Wait, say that again. Say that again.
Okay, it was a bad movie, but Kilowog was so much fun, it saved it for me.
Okay, fair enough.
I can watch that Kilowog training sequence 100 times in a row.
Fair enough.
That and what's his name, Sinestro, was pretty awesome.
Yeah, I don't remember enough of it. I just remember that the CG suits were bothering the heck out of me and stuff like that.
It never bothered me. I don't know. I think it's because in my eyes, like, well, their suits are made of light anyway, so I guess they look like that.
Yeah. See, that was the thing is, that was really the first reboot, wasn't it? That was before Man of Steel, even, right?
That wasn't a reboot because they never really did it.
Reboot. Well, reboot, I should say. That was the first.
It was the first.
They're trying.
That's it. Yeah. And then Man of Steel came out.
I think it was Jeff Johns' Green Lantern was such a big phenomenon at the time that they were like, we gotta bring this character out to the forefront.
Oh, the 2017 Justice League. I hated it. I hated every second of it, and I actually did enjoy the Snyder Cut. I thought he actually brought it justice. Pardon the pun. But I did bring justice back to what he was trying to represent and show. And it flowed well too. I thought it was for a 4-hour story. I sat and watched it with you, Max, for the first time.
Yeah. You came over and watched it. I was really excited. I knew you were gonna like it because I knew you were one of the people that hated the 2017 version. This is not that movie.
But at the same time, it flowed for me. I didn't feel 4 hours drag on, which surprised me because I feel Zack Snyder's 3.5-hour films and stuff drag all the time. This is the first time I've seen a Snyder based, directed film that didn't drag for me, and so anyway,
I thought it was great to see such a superhero movie at that scale of epicness. That was like, Endgame was a different kind of scale of epicness, but I thought the Snyder Cut, it almost had like a Game of Thrones feel to the way that the plot events were like a mic drop of like the Amazons dropped that the thing that held the mother box into the ocean, but Steppenwolf still rose up and killed, so it started slaughtering the Amazons. It was like very, very high scale, which was I loved it.
Well, guys, we've been going for like nearly an hour and 50 minutes now, so it's been going for quite a while. I'm sure in the future we're going to have a lot more to say about this, and I'm sure Jason will want to have his piece at some point in the future too.
Yeah, I'm sure as soon as the things get announced and eventually.
Yeah, well, that's it. Yeah.
Also, Strange Adventures got canceled.
Strange Adventures, which was that?
It was going to be an anthology show. I think it was going to be related to the Strange Adventures comic with Adam Strange in it. But Kevin Smith was going to write the pilot.
Oh, yeah. That got canceled.
His pilot, his pilot was going to be Jimmy Olsen and Perry White get taken to a Bizarro world.
Okay.
And have to, I think, help Bizarro or something like that. But I can't remember what his full.
We just talked about it on the last, his last Hollywood Babylon, I think it was.
Yeah. It sounds pretty cool. I would love to see like a comic version or an animated version of that story because it sounded pretty fun.
He said it was going to go to an animated. It said it was going to go to comic book.
Yeah. All I want
he did?
Yeah.
That's awesome. I'd probably pick that up.
All I want to see in DC is this unity between the movies they do from one after the other, and I'm not seeing any unity in anything they're currently doing right now. I could semi see a unity at the beginning of the Snyderverse, but now there's just no unity. There's no connection.
They're given too many directions. I don't want to say too much freedom, but just too much opportunity to do stuff differently. That there's no homogenous DC feel, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but it's
there needs to be a central.
Well, I think we also look at Wonder Woman 2 versus Wonder Woman 1. It's total jumps of
feel.
tone.
It's like just not in the same universe. It's like
totally.
the same actors. It's like it's Batman to Batman Forever, where it's like you have the same Commissioner Gordon and the same Alfred, but like everybody else is different, and it just feels different.
Everyone's telling jokes now.
Different movie, different director, different production designer. It's just like a completely different world, but you have like two actors that like kind of like hold it together.
Yeah. Anyway, guys, we're at an hour and 50 minutes, so I think we'll finish up for today. But thanks out there, chat, for joining us. And Anchorman, I never saw Batman vs Superman because I never wanted that to be my first Batman vs Superman in real action.
I think you'd like it.
No, I really won't. I really won't. I can guarantee
segments of that movie are all
segments that I've seen already.
The Ultimate Cut is amazing, and honestly, the Martha
Cut is better than the movie. If you're gonna watch it, only watch the Ultimate.
I think the Martha sequence is underrated. I think people shit on it because they didn't understand it. I think when you watch the full sequence in the Ultimate Edition, it plays out so much smoother, and you really get the emotion in that scene.
Okay, fair enough. All right, guys. Anyway, thanks again for joining us, and we shall be doing some reaction videos in the coming future. Plenty of shows coming up, and please like and subscribe if you haven't already, and we shall catch you on the future. See you later, guys.
Martha!